Hi, everybody. This is the Football Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the People's Champion. Your host, hi, welcome back to the Football Hut, and hopefully you like this video. We're talking about the Giants and their draft, because obviously this is an unmitigated disaster we're dealing with. As Giants fans, this is about as bad as it could possibly get. And to be honest with you, it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better. The Giants need to figure out what they want to do with this front office, what they want to do with this coach. His coach looks like he's beaten. The front office seems to be lost. They probably are better off moving on, but I don't think they're going to do that. But I think at the very least the coach is going to be in trouble. I think the coach is going to be gone. But I want to talk about the draft here in this video and who the Giants are going to draft if they have the number one pick. Right now they have the number one pick, but got to keep losing. Got to keep losing. This from Giants Wire USA Today. NFL Draft Insider predicts quarterback Cam Ward to the Giants. Wasn't that interesting? A lot of good quarterbacks that are on the board again this year. They passed up a quarterback this year. They can't be doing that again. New York Giants are currently in the driver's seat for the number one overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, where they are expected to choose between three key players. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders, the son of Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, and Cam Ward, and wide receiver cornerback Travis Hunter. Although Hunter is arguably the best player in the upcoming class, the Giants will almost certainly take one of the quarterbacks, especially if General Manager Joe Shane somehow keeps his job. I mean, it's interesting how they wrote this. The Giants scattered both Sanders and Ward heavily this season, and Colorado head coach Deion Sanders, the father of Shedeur, fully expects them to draft his son, but not everyone agrees with Deion's take. ESPN NFL draft analyst and insider Matt Miller strongly believes the Giants will take Ward with the first overall pick, assuming they hang on to it. The 22-year-old Ward, in his first season at Miami, completed 67.4% of his passes for 4,123 yards, 36 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions, while he had 146 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground. Ward also had a 7-yard reception for a score. That was enough to trust Ward into the Heisman Trophy race, where he ultimately finished fourth in voting. The award went to Hunter. Few people know what the Giants' current preference is, but Miller, at least for now, has them leaning toward Ward. Now, we'll see. I'm going to have more on this momentarily. Now, this is what Fox Sports is saying about the draft. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, the whole list of players. We'll get into what the Giants are going to do. A 2025 NFL mock draft, Giants select Cam Ward number 1. Jaguars pick Hunter and Sanders to LV. The end of the 2024 NFL regular season is on the horizon, which means it's time to dive into his 2025 NFL mock draft. Here's some of the familiar faces in the top 5, including this year's Heisman winner. And further down this list, you'll see that they predict the Cowboys for strength, and it doesn't matter. Who cares about that? You know. First up is, and they're saying the Giants are going to get the number 1 pick. New York Giants will select Cam Ward, quarterback from Miami. There's a lot of debate around his pro prospects, but not for me, the writer says. When I see a shorter Justin Herbert. Ward has 56 college starts, and he makes difficult throws look effortless. I think he's a better pure passer than Shedeur Sanders, and all signs so far point to Ward wanting to play for the Giants. That's a big thing. I would mention about Shedeur and the Sanders family. We know Deion, all these years. If the Giants aren't good, he's going to complain about it. Okay, we know it. So the Giants want to add on that extra pressure of having Deion around. That's the one thing I will say. Deion wants excellence for his son, obviously, and as of course when he was a player, he was a great player and a great athlete. So does he want his son being on a team that seems kind of directionless at this point? I don't know. Now here's an interesting article from Fansided. Headline: Giants' next quarterback all but admits that the number 1 pick has already been decided. The 2025 NFL draft is still months away, but Shedeur Sanders already believes he knows the team that will select him. New York Giants are in desperate need of a new franchise quarterback they can build around. They're also in position to score one of the top picks in the 2025 NFL draft. Shedeur Sanders believes those factors will combine to make him a Giant. Sanders and Miami star Cam Ward are widely considered to be the two top quarterbacks in this year's draft class. Odds favor one of the two Sidney Coles becoming the number 1 overall pick. Giants currently hold a 1-game advantage in the race to secure that selection on the back of 10 consecutive losses. Keep losing. Keep losing. Sanders is not a player short on self-belief. It's one reason why he recently was filmed intimating that he knows exactly the team that would draft him, and that he would be the first name called by Commissioner Roger Goodell. Well, we'll see. Sanders implies he already knows he's going to the Giants. It's possible that Sanders has been given indications from the Giants organization that he's the preferred option at quarterback. But it's far too early for him to be certain about who and where he'll be drafted. The Giants are not a lock to have the number 1 overall pick. Several other quarterback-needy teams, such as the Raiders and the Browns, could finish the season with an inferior record. It's also not in the best interest of any team to make their intentions known so early. Even if the Giants are convinced that Sanders is a transformational quarterback, they should still leave doubt in the minds of other franchises who might be tempted to try to trade up to the top spot in the draft. New York has a lot of roster holes to fill. The whole roster is a disaster. Quarterback should be their top offseason priority, but exchanging the top pick for a treasure trove of draft capital would be the best move for the franchise. Sanders could easily end up as the Giants' starting quarterback next season, but no one should start printing jerseys quite yet, or Cam Ward for that matter. There is still plenty of time for his draft status to change between now and the big event, and we don't have the combine. There's no combine yet. And again, the Giants have played so poorly. Folks, the Giants have played so poorly at this point that how do you who's going to be making the pick? Who's going to be coaching this player? Those are questions that aren't going to be answered until the day after the season. So no matter what happens, we don't know right now where the Giants are going. That's the problem. First of all, I believe they're going to draft the quarterback, but who's going to be making that choice? Who's going to be saying we're going to draft Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders? I mean, that's the question. Because to be honest with you, Joe Shane is a disaster. And Brian Gable, what a disappointment as a coach. These guys came from a very good situation in New England. And the first year was really good. But since then, it's been a complete disaster. And I don't know what's going on with the coach, but he looks like he doesn't want to be here. And I guess when you lose many games and you've been so bad the last 2 years, why would you want to be? But that's it. I mean, I don't see any kind of hope here. Until they figure out what they want to do with these two guys, the draft is a secondary thing at the moment, and they have to finish have the worst record too, and we'll see how that transpires. Got to keep losing the games, and that's it. Well, let me know what you think about this video, and of course, please subscribe to Football Hut, and I'll see you later.